Justice of India B.R. Gavai is assured that the Supreme Court will revisit its recent order directing the relocation of stray dogs from residential areas in Delhi NCR to shelters. The statement comes amidst growing criticism from various quarters over the directives in response to rising incidents of dog bites. The matter was mentioned before the CJI bench, with petitioners expressing concern over the blanket removal of stray dogs from the streets. Responding to the plea, CJI said that he will be looking into this matter, indicating the court may consider reviewing or modifying the order. Remember, the Apex Court's decision had mandated shifting all stray dogs from residential localities to designated shelters, sparking objections from animal rights activists, welfare groups, members of the public, who argued it was inhumane and impartial. Sambhav Sharma is joining us for more on this story. Sambhav, what has the CJI said today in these fresh observations?
Well, the matter was before the Chief Justice of India in the form of mentioning. A lady lawyer mentioned this matter before the bench led by the Chief Justice of India, and here it was urged it was urged before the Chief Justice of India that the matter will be listed. This was a matter related to the stray dogs. It was another matter. But related to the stray dogs, this was mentioned before the bench led by Chief Justice of India for urgent listing. And here the Chief Justice of India has said that I will look into it. Chief Justice of India B.R. Gavai said that I will look into it. And this particular petition was filed by an organization challenging earlier Delhi High Court's order in its PIL seeking direction for sterilization and vaccination of community dogs in Delhi as per Animal Birth Control ABC rules. So this particular matter was mentioned by before the bench of CJI, and pointing out that another bench of the same court, as in another bench of the Supreme Court, had already passed another order related to these stray dogs. And CJI, then CJI referred to the order passed day before yesterday, that is August 11, for the relocation of the stray dog. Then the council referred to it as another order of another bench in 2024. So these were the arguments made in the court, and then the Supreme Court has said that okay, we will look into it. CJI Gavai replied that I will look into it, and as per this petition, it was said that this matter relating to the stray dog, a different order has already been passed by the Supreme Court, and now a conflicting different order by different bench on August 11. So CJI B.R. Gavai agreed to look into this matter. This is what happened in the Supreme Court, because it was mentioning, and during mentioning, the time is limited.
Right.
So absolutely.
In fact, we have Harsh Singh Dahiya, advocate, Supreme Court, also joining us now on the broadcast. Harsh Dahiya, how do you react to these fresh observations by the CJI? What could happen now next?
Uday, since yesterday, I've been saying that the strong order passed by the Supreme Court bench of Justice Pardiwala, the reason of that was because the civic authorities and civil society failed in its duty to keep the population of stray dogs under control, and that's why such a strong order was passed. And yesterday itself, I had made several comments that something good will come out of it. It is a very strong order, and it doesn't seem very practical as well. That within 2 months, almost 3 lakh stray dogs cannot be transferred to shelter homes which do not exist at the moment. But the court took such a strong stance, because had they not put a time limit of 2 months, the civic authorities would not have moved at all, and another decade would have passed before they did anything about this stray dog menace that is plaguing the streets of Delhi. And coming back to the comment made by very respected CJI B.R. Gavai ji, that is clear that the Supreme Court will entertain some review petition, or will look into this particular matter, and something good will come out of it. The strong order may be modified a little bit, a little more time may be given. And I feel the best way forward in this particular matter would be to start an adoption program for these indie dogs, for these street dogs, so that more and more people and dog lovers come forward and these dogs are adopted, because all these dogs do not belong to the streets, they belong to loving homes where they can be taken care of. And more people should come forward and adopt these dogs, because even the ABC program that is prescribed under the ABC rules, animal birth control rules, that is not completely sufficient to counter the issue that we are facing. The ABC rules prescribe three-step procedure, that you vaccinate them, you sterilize them, and then you release them in their natural habitat, which is the street they were picked up from. The problem with that is, which the court has also highlighted in its previous order, is that when these dogs are released in their natural habitat, which is the streets they were picked up from, the problem that happens is that if they are aggressive, then they keep on attacking people. The issue of rabies may be solved, but the issue of dogs attacking people is not being solved by the ABC three-step program, which is being implemented by the civic authorities. And also, when these dogs form packs, like a pack of 5 or pack of 10, and when they attack people, then that is more dangerous. Then the mauling attacks result in deaths and sometimes in lifelong trauma where people are unable to step out. And the biggest challenge is not faced by the elites who are making comments on these matters, but by poor people who have to go on bikes, who have to go on streets day in, day out, who do not live in gated societies, and also mostly by children and elderly who are afraid of going out on streets. I have complete compassion for dogs, and the court too seems to have complete compassion for dogs. But the fact remains that we need to tackle this growing problem
Yes.
of dog, and in a more
What do you
compassionate.
believe then could be a practical, workable solution?
See, the practical
Sort of a
workable.
middle ground.
Sorry,
A
can you
middle
repeat?
ground. A middle ground.
Yeah, middle ground would be, Uday, like I mentioned previously, that adoption program needs to come in place, and at least 6 months should be given for that. And 2 months is not sufficient for making enough dog shelters at all. So dogs will return to the streets, that's for sure. This is not a permanent solution, because dogs will return from neighboring areas, and you cannot eliminate complete stray dog population. The best way forward would be to start an adoption program, give 6 months limit on it, wherein people can come forward, they can go and visit these dog shelters and adopt these indie dogs. And instead of buying these, fancy breeds of dogs that we have at our homes these days, we should be adopting more and more indie dogs from this stray population, give them a loving home. And the second would be to, upscale the sterilize and vaccination program, and also to specifically identify the dogs which have gotten very aggressive, who are attacking people day in and day out, and pick up those specific dogs, because there are many stray dogs which are very loving. They are referred as community dogs, they are loved as well, they are very cared for as well, they are fed by people in the localities. But in case any dog has gotten aggressive, he should be picked, but the nicer dog should be let alone on the streets.